Hello my lovely YouTubers. This is our first ride out for ages and I don't really know why. I think I haven't been terribly well, just a little bit of a low grade nonsense thing. And there never seems enough time at this time of year. We're still losing the light quite early. I don't know, I can make 100 excuses. The fact is that every so often you slightly lose your spirit a little bit, I think. And also the thing with this one is that I have so much lovely time just being with her on the ground and doing all the things we do together on the ground. It's very easy to let the riding slide, and because we don't have anything to train for. So the reason that I ride her is because I do love that incredible feeling of half a ton of intensely powerful thoroughbred underneath me. But also it's a gentle, contained power. It's not a frightening power. But also because I love to come out and look at this. This is my incredible good fortune. And, you know, there are drawbacks to living in the north of Scotland. If you grew up in the south like me and all your old friends are 500 miles away. And it's not an easy journey necessarily. So you have to say no to a lot of invitations. And I do miss seeing the old friends face to face. But you know, I've been here a long time and I've got a community that I'm really dug into. So the fact that I'm a sort of long way from things like race courses too, I never get to go racing, is Ascot today, you know, and that would be 572 miles. Actually, no, I think that's fake, and I worked out it was 572. I think Ascot's more like 556, but it's a long old drive. Anyway, I'm rambling slightly because I'm just loving standing in this stillness, letting her take the world in. She hasn't been ridden out in the world for a bit, and also on her own is always a little bit of a thing. Because we do so much now as a group with the posse and the other mares, and she was never very keen on going out on her own. So we got ready very slowly like two old ladies, and I sang her quite a lot of Simon and Garfunkel songs, which seemed to have a very salutary effect. And you can see, yeah, as long as I've got those ears, as long as the ears are mobile, and I don't mind them going forward as long as they come back to me. It's when they're fixed forward that I worry. So as you can see, she's in pretty good shape. Aren't you, my doodle? Yes, you clever girl. You're such a clever girl. And you know, the funny thing is, I'm going to be late for the racing now. I'm going to miss the first two races. And I could have got there in time if I'd rushed this process. If I hadn't sung the Simon and Garfunkel songs, and I hadn't stood and done a lot of breathing with her, and I hadn't done the lateral flexion. And you'd think, you know, we've been together for 10 years. I've been practicing this horsemanship for 9. I've got reasonably good at it now. You know, I can get a few things done. I can carry a tune. You'd think she should be the push button horse by now, but she's never going to be that horse because she's got just this very interesting character, very complex character. And she feels things very deeply, and she really, really, really needs me to step up for her. And not all horses do. You know, some horses, they have a kind of inner resource. My little bay mare had that. Once I got the relationship between us, that was that. She could do anything. Whereas this one, sometimes you will have to spend half an hour getting ready to go for a ride. Sometimes I can pop her out the field, hop on, off we go, and there's not a bother on her. But I can't expect that. So when that happens, it's a joy, and I do feel very, very proud of both of us, don't I, Bean? But sometimes she just needs a little bit more, and it can be all kinds of reasons. Weather changes. She didn't get quite enough REM sleep last night. You always work with the horse you have that day. That's one of the greatest lessons I think I've ever learned. Anyway, here we are. Here is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Scotland. And I hope you too have a lovely view. Oh, she's going to sleep now. Good girl. Okay, my darlings. Up. Shifting legs. Off we go. Shall we walk on? Let's show the good walk. She doesn't want to move now. Come on then. We're going to walk on. Yeah, there we go. That's what we like, isn't it? See where she wants to go. She can choose her own way. I love doing this, actually. Let them choose their own way. See where they choose to take you. Sniffing her way along the forest floor. Good girl. There we go. Actually, that's one useful thing I can give you. Don't ignore their sense of smell. You always think of dogs as the ones who have to sniff everything, but I really notice that horses are very, 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 oh, is it walkers? Very sensitive to smell. So if they need to sniff something, jolly well let them sniff it. I think they're getting a lot of valuable information. Should we walk on? Should we go and see the walkers? I think they're getting a lot of valuable information, and that's, you know, that's what they're looking for the whole time. That's why their senses are dialed up to Spinal Tap 11, because they need that constant information, and that's what keeps them safe from the mountain lions. If you always just go back to the idea that horses are trying to survive, that's what they're evolutionarily geared for. Oh, I love this. Look, watch this. Now I sit right back in the saddle, and down the mossy slope she goes. And this is another place I really love to let them find their own way, because when the footing's a bit uncertain, trust your horse. Don't try and second guess. She'll know where her hooves need to go, especially the mares. They're so wise. Anyway, I really am rambling now. I'm going to let you go. What a lovely morning.